This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, where each week this brother-sister duo gets together to discuss the box office, latest film and TV scoops, our latest movie or show review, and what we're getting into next. We're your host,
Cheryl
and Jay.
All right, this week we watched Opus, which actually came out the week before, but we was tied up with another movie, Black Bag. If you have not seen that yet, go watch that and then go watch our review. But today we talking about Opus. Now, I'm on deck for trivia. I couldn't find no trivia for this movie.
Okay.
I couldn't even get no Ayo Edebiri trivia, but I have one for John Malkovich. Is you ready?
Sure.
All right, so John Malkovich is going to be in Fantastic Four. We don't officially know what his character is, but this is not the first time he has been offered a role in the MCU. I'm going to let you wild guess, and then I'm going to dwindle it down for you. What do you think the role was?
The High Evolutionary?
No, think older. Pre-Kevin Feige Marvel.
What before what Avengers?
All of them.
Before all the Avengers movies? Who was the bad guy in Iron Man 1?
Nope, pre-Kevin Feige Marvel. That's how old this offer was.
So this is pre-MCU Marvel.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I did say MCU, didn't I? Sorry. Marvel movie.
X-Men? There weren't that many.
No, Web Slinger.
He was in a Spider-Man movie?
He was offered a role in a Spider-Man movie. A villain.
A role of a Spider... Did the character end up being in a Spider-Man movie? Or was it just not?
Yes. The prominence role in
Dr. Octopus?
Close.
Green Goblin?
Yes.
He would have been an awful Green Goblin.
You think so?
Yeah, no. That role was made for Willem
think...
Dafoe.
Okay, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong about Willem Dafoe, but you don't think he would have been able to play like the same crazy, zany? I mean, now you can't unsee it.
I can't unsee Willem Dafoe in that role. I can't see anybody else in that role, and it's been too long.
It has been way too long, and he's like came back and did it again.
No other MC villain has been like that, as animated, or
right? As zany, as crazy. You're right. I don't know.
And then I don't think I couldn't have seen him be Green Goblin in Spider-Man 1.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody but Willem Dafoe would have been able to pull off No Way Home's Norman. The crazy Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde Norman.
That flip when he was all like, oh, God, he's actually crazy.
And he was like laughing while Peter was beating him up.
That was such a good scene.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe's too good.
He is good in everything. So, he eventually circled back around after 20-some years to say, hey, and I think he said that they tried to get him, like MCU Marvel tried to get John Malkovich, but they wasn't trying to pay. And he was like, no. So they obviously cut the check for whoever he is in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I have no idea who he is in Fantastic Four.
There's been speculation, but I'm done speculating on Marvel characters till Kevin could say who it is. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. But you're probably right. He probably wouldn't have worked as well as Green Goblin. So.
No, not as well.
We got the people we deserved. All right, that's it for trivia. Let's jump into the episode.
Welcome, fellow movie buffs. I'm Jay.
I'm Cheryl.
Listen in as we break down movie and TV shows, tell you what's in the plot, and hear if we think you should have watched it when you had the chance.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, we have new movie announcements to brand new. Well, one's a TV show, one's a movie, but they brand spanking new. Well, let me not even say that. The announcements are new. Okay. The shows and the movie is not new.
Right, as most things have been.
As I say, they definitely reboots, remake season. 2 Cars and Trailer Park. It is bare. It is thin. Not a lot going on there. And then we got a semi-healthy BUNCHA-CRUNCH. So let's start off at the top. Go Power Rangers. Okay. It's getting a series, live action series on Disney Plus. What'd you say?
Another one to go with the other billions of live action.
Now, you know what's funny? I almost was like, I'm glad it's not animated. I was like, wait a second. Power Rangers has always been live action.
When this news got announced, they were like, it's getting a live action series. Said, that's news.
It's always, you're right. It's always been live action.
The rest, who knew?
I'm literally just realizing.
We're Lion King CGI.
Yeah. Okay. That's silly to even say. Yeah. We in that era now, though, of live action,
the news would
animated.
Have been that it was getting like a Transformers 1 style reboot.
That would have been different. Yeah. You're right. Also, this revelation, I didn't realize Disney owned Power Rangers. Like, since when?
What's Power Rangers? Say
Hasbro.
Hasbro?
How's
Oh,
it?
Transformers.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Disney
maybe
own
they don't
Hasbro?
own it. Maybe they just that's the because Hasbro doesn't have like a
I'm
platform.
trying to think what channel the Power Rangers. I mean, Power Rangers used to come on Disney XD.
Okay, so maybe there's
Some type of affiliation.
Okay, okay. I was like, when did Disney buy Power Rangers? Because they buy everything else.
Right.
Hasbro still owns it, but Hasbro need a platform. So here we go. Anywho, Disney is reaching back in this Disney bag, however, and Percy Jackson and Olympian showrunners are actually going to be the ones that are going to write, showrun, and produce the show.
Okay.
Now, Percy Jackson has 2 seasons, and it just got renewed for a 3rd. So
Okay.
obviously they know what they doing. So I
Okay.
feel good about that. If you don't know what the Power Rangers is, I don't know how you found this show or how you consider yourself nerdy.
Well, walking around the world, living amongst the rest of us. And
It's
I know
very
who Power
strange,
Rangers are.
very weird. But if you don't know what the Power Rangers are, the original series came out in 1993. It ran for 3 seasons. And then something I learned doing my little Googles, the Power Rangers had 30 seasons. That like every other season was a new name.
Yeah, I think
don't know when I fell off.
I think the most seasons a single series has had is the Mighty Morphin series.
Which was first?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, every
No, you're
iteration
correct.
has gotten shorter and shorter.
Well, listen, I'm looking up the wiki page. Every iteration's only 1 season. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was 3.
That makes sense.
And then I don't know what Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. I must have missed that episode.
They ran like congruently at the same time.
Okay, that's why it's called season 3.5. And then Power Rangers Zeo. I remember that.
Zio was the worst season.
Oh, come on. The suits were nice.
The suits were nice, but they were super depowered, and they got beat up every single episode by like the base enemies. Because I don't know what was going on with the Zeo season, but I had the Megazords and everything, but I was so mad as a kid. Like, why are they getting beat up all the time?
The toy that you would like clunk, clunk, clunk,
I had the
clunk
Megazords.
together.
You can't find those anymore.
Them was like his birthday gifts, okay?
Yeah.
Like every year. You should save those.
I could have. They're probably worth $1 billion.
Probably.
Now.
And then Power Rangers Turbo. Then they went to space.
I had that movie.
Lightspeed. I was like, I didn't even know Power Rangers went on for this long.
I think I followed it all the way up to like Mystic Force.
Okay.
And then I fell off.
Okay.
What was the one before Mystic Force?
SPD.
Yes. SPD was when they were cops. And I was like, I'm done.
The funny part is you are not looking at the wiki page, are you?
I'm not.
And I am. You named it, and I was like.
I used to watch the. I mean, it was
he's
like.
naming it right off the screen.
It was a weekly thing.
I mean, you're right. You loved you some Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I had watched in the background like, oh, this show actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mecha Force, Samurai, Jungle Fury. I mean, that was Dino Fury.
Dino Fury and Samurai had to have become Mystic before Mystic Force because I think Dino Fury had the original Tommy in it.
They came after. So
Yeah.
it was Mystic Force, then Jungle. I'm naming them slightly out of order.
Yeah.
And then the latest ones that came out 2023 was Comic Fury. So yeah.
Interesting.
They've been on Netflix the last couple of seasons. Not surprising.
That's not surprising. It eats everything up.
They were on Nickelodeon. Then they were on ABC for a little bit. Toon Disney.
Okay. Yeah.
Fox. That's where they started.
Toon Disney is when I caught the reruns.
They started on Fox, which Disney now owns. So all this kind of makes sense.
And ABC makes sense because Saturday morning cartoons used to run on network television.
Yep. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. A little bit.
I saw the Power Rangers. I've seen all 3 main Power Rangers movies. Original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I've seen the original.
Which
sure.
the best one with the leather suits that sucked because the series had the regular fabric suits and then the movie came out and they had like the shiny leather suits.
Budget.
And then after the movie they went back to the fabric suits. It's like
no
boo!
more budget.
The second one was the Turbo one.
Okay.
Turbo movie.
Okay.
I watched that one. I liked that one.
VHS we talking about, y'all. We're
Yeah,
not
soft,
talking about
soft package.
We're not talking about DVDs here.
And I saw the reboot that
Okay.
came out a couple years ago with the guy who plays Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
And the girl from Smile.
Right.
She was Kimberly.
I had moved on by then.
Oh,
but I
okay,
remember OG Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody said that they hope that this reiteration, this reboot is a more serious take and it's not like the goofy, Power Rangers was a kid show, so they fighting all kind of like
The Power Rangers was serious. It had some serious storylines.
It did, but I was like, I think they're probably still going to be geared towards
They're teenagers. They're Power Rangers are teenagers with Mighty Morphin Transformer and teenagers with attitude.
Don't be like Euphoria and the Power Rangers. Though.
Yeah, they're supposed to be high school students.
Right. I don't want them going through like drug problems.
No.
And
none
of that.
I have always been interested in seeing like an adult Power Rangers, like
so they're not being in high school
after they've graduated high school.
Okay.
And they're still Power Rangers. Maybe they go to college and go separate ways and they have to reconnect, kind of like the Avengers or something.
Okay.
Kind of like an Infinity War
type
of Power Rangers.
That'd be a good movie.
A villain from the series that's old has come back and they have to like come back together. They've all like grown up. I would
like that. I would watch that movie.
I've always been interested in that, but I'm fine with them going right back to carbon copy.
Being teenagers.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like teens need like something, like even though this is a reboot.
They got Percy Jackson. Somebody's watching that. So they're kids.
Listen, that's why they got the Percy Jackson people to make Power Rangers. They like, y'all got the feel down. We need to copy this in something else. So I actually might check this out.
Yeah, and I'm cool with young adult stuff coming back.
I was just about to say, I feel like there's not a ton of young adult stuff out.
Maze Runner's gone.
Done.
The Hunger Games is, I guess, trying to swing back, but
it's
been
gone
for a while.
It ain't stuck quite yet.
Harry Potter's been gone for a while.
Super long
time.
So
all the young adult stuff is gone. Where's Animorphs? How about that?
We don't have, I say we not young adults. I mean, I'm kind of young in my mind.
Okay. Neither of us are young adults.
But you're right. That it seems like that landscape is empty. So this could fill that void. I'm down for it.
Yeah. Power Rangers is fun. Mm-hmm. I only still have Turbo and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. But
did you see the movie that they did, like that went to theaters?
The reboot?
I guess.
Yeah. I don't know who I went to see it with, because if it wasn't you, I have no idea.
I ain't watching
Shout out to that person. But
let us know if it's you.
I absolutely went to go see it in theaters, and it was fine. The only issue I had was the fully CGI. They gave them all fully CGI suits, and I didn't like that because they all kind of just look like multicolored versions of Iron Man. And you don't have to do that. You can just do just
make them look normal.
They went too far, because even in like the Marvel movies, they didn't have fully CGI suits in all of them. You just put them in suits.
Disney need to keep the budget tight on this.
They made them all like Iron Man. It was like, that's not fun.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. I was the name of that one. I don't like that.
Was the name. When did it come out?
2003.
They must have added that tagline after the fact. It must have been like an Edge of Tomorrow thing.
It don't sound good.
Because it was okay. But the morphing is what threw me off. I liked Elizabeth Banks. She played the villain. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did I see that?
And Zordon was played by...
Let me check. Oh, Bryan Cranston?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he played Zordon.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. This series will be interesting to see who plays who. I bet you Disney going to try to keep that budget tight, so I don't know if any of the Rangers is going to be played by people we know, but they probably get like the villain or something.
R.I.P. to Jason David Frank. He used to be involved in all of them, like even the fan-made stuff. I think this will be the first time something's come out since his passing that he hasn't actually touched. So I
think we need this.
Yeah,
I know we all anti-remake reboots, but
Power Rangers is harmless.
I'm 10 out of 10 for this. So.
And it has a really big fan base still.
I mean, it's got like 30 seasons.
So
we all still alive.
Cool.
Most of us. Another remake. This time, Ray J. John Page. I got it right. Ding, 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 ding. Will star and produce in another version of the Count of Monte Cristo.
You just said you wanted to start seeing him in more stuff.
I literally spoke this into existence.
Yeah.
Now, people love to complain. So apparently, there has been 2 recent adaptations. One was a French series or TV show, and then there's been another more recent adaptation of this, and people are like, we just had 2, we don't need another one. Well, apparently nobody watched that because I don't know those existed, and I was excited about this.
No,
I think he is a perfect Monte Cristo Count. He looks like it. He kind of played a Count in Dungeons and Dragons. He just wasn't very smart. But I think this could work.
Yeah. So I did not know that, but it makes so much more sense that the same person who wrote Count of Monte Cristo, Oscar wrote The Three Musketeers, and Man in Iron Mask, they could all be in the same universe.
Black man, by the way, if you did not know, you are listening.
Be in the same universe.
Count of Monte Cristo is a book. It is written by Alexandre Dumas, who also wrote Three Musketeers, Man in Iron Mask, and I think I'm missing something. But these are his 3 biggest works. So, and also if you don't know what the Count of Monte Cristo is, it's basically a young sailor gets falsely accused of treason. After years of imprisonment, he escapes and seeks revenge on those who put him in jail. And he goes under a guise of the Count of Monte Cristo to get the people back that did him wrong. So
lots of sword fighting.
Backstabbing, revenge, probably like sex and intrigue and all that other stuff. He just looks. I mean, I didn't watch Bridgerton, but this looked like this right up his alley.
Does this has been picked up by anybody yet?
No.
So I'm interested to see if this goes to theaters.
Well, you're correct on that. And the writer is, I can't remember his name, but the writer behind this is a writer of young adult films or young adult books.
So interested to see the supporting cast.
Yes, there's a lot of characters in this, particularly like his love interests and then the people he's trying to get back at. The man that trains him while he's in jail to learn all the culture and literature so he can fake this new identity when he get out.
Yeah.
It's gonna. People was hating on it, but I'm like, give it to me. And he's black, so sure. I don't know if there's ever been a black Count of Monte Cristo. Probably not.
No, probably not.
Doubt it. So yeah, everybody like, we already had it. We ain't had this one, so I'll take it.
Yeah, Bridgerton is breaking down barriers, racial and gender.
Didn't it do it? Ain't that what the show kind of like about?
Yeah.
Okay. So
exist in a fantasy.
Sign me up. 2 tickets, please, now.
All right, so that is all the movie news this week. Let's roll into the trailer park.
Toot.
Okay, first trailer of the week is for Ballerina. This comes out June 6th. I'm sorry. We've talked about this before. Yeah. It is more John Wick.
It's John Wick.
Lady Wick.
There you go. I was going to say John Wick Light.
Yeah.
John Wick. Yeah, Lady Wick.
Maybe not light.
Lady Wick was more appropriate.
It's just John Wick with a woman.
Yes.
And John Wick 2 makes a cameo.
He does make a cameo, and they try to set it up in the trailer like he's gonna be fighting. I don't know what Ana de Armas' character's name.
No, he's there for exposition.
Exactly. Like they're not gonna be fighting for real.
Exactly.
And he obviously doesn't die because this takes place in between two of the movies.
Yeah, he's gotta die later.
Exactly. Like he's obviously gonna help her out. If you can't tell by the tone of my voice, I'm not super excited about this movie.
I'm not super excited because it's just John Wick 5, but
it's not.
But it's not John Wick, and that's what I go for. Right. But Ana de Armas is fine. I don't think there's anything special about this movie. But it does look like dumb fun, turn your brain off action, like the rest. But
I think I don't think they want it to be dumb fun. I think they want it to be serious fun.
I mean, all the John Wicks are dumb fun though.
I know, but
the plot is serious.
This one, I feel like they trying to be like, ooh, she's like avenging her daddy, and we're like, ooh, we don't care. Kill, stab, break some necks.
Yeah, sure. We saw Colombiana already.
Did we though?
I saw Colombiana. Oh, did they see Colombiana? Right. Yes, that's how this got written.
You're probably. It does give Colombiana vibes.
Yeah, it's definitely Colombiana.
I mean, we can probably watch it.
But what's his name? Not Carl Urban, but
he kind of look like Carl Urban.
Daryl from Walking Dead.
Yes, him
is playing. It sounds like the villain.
Yes.
Even though he does not appear in the trailer, he only appears in like a bounty printout.
I think he was
Norman
in
Reedus.
There it is. I think he was in the first one briefly. But it's your typical plot, y'all.
Was Norman Reedus in the first? I haven't seen the first. When was the first John Wick? 2010?
Trailer. I think he was in the first trailer for Ballerina.
Oh, briefly. Okay. I didn't see that.
Super briefly. I mean, it's like you blink and you might have missed him.
Okay.
But the plot is typical. She sounds like she's been trained up in John Wick-esque style, and she sounds like she's avenging her father. And she got to work through like all of the people, but her avenging her father is going against the code or whatever. So they're trying to stop her, but she's like, "No, I got a flamethrower. I'm gonna burn you all down." And we're all like, "Okay."
Ian McShane is back. It looks like this will be Lance Reddings's last appearance in it as well. Didn't get any Lawrence Fishburne in it, but that doesn't mean he won't appear. He might do a surprise cameo.
True.
Where's Halle Berry?
She's not gonna be in this.
I think
because that's the movie we supposed to be having anyway.
Yeah.
Let's not get on that soapbox.
That could have been more interesting story. Like somebody was going after Halle Berry's daughter, found out she had a daughter, so she has to come out of hiding and rescue her or something.
Discuss this ad nauseum, and we will continue to discuss it till this movie's out.
Shout out to Ana de Armas' dead daddy,
who we probably don't care about. But anywho, we'll watch it. I mean, whatever. Sure, why not?
Sure.
I'll watch it for John Wick.
I've seen the rest of them.
right.
Hopefully it gives good action sequences. At least
action looks decent.
Every John Wick movie has at least one extremely memorable action sequence. So I hope this one does too.
This movie can have John Wick style fighting because it's a John Wick movie.
I hope it's not like a bad movie, and I hope it's not the worst.
You know what?
Because that'll have other implications about female-led action films.
True.
So
you know what this movie's giving me though?
What?
Give you one guess.
Atomic Blonde, because I like that movie.
Heart of Stone.
This looks like it's at least better produced than Heart of Stone.
Sure.
Heart of Stone didn't have action that looked this good. I like the side characters in Heart of Stone more than I like Gal Gadot. But then they got shot 15 minutes in, so.
Spoiler alert. You don't watch that movie anyway. You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. I'm neutral on this.
This looks better than Heart of Stone, at least.
I'm neutral. That's all. And it ain't got nothing to do with Anna de Armas. It's fine. I think it's just a movie concept in general.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Next up.
All right. Next up is Shadow Force. This is going to Netflix.
No, this is going to theaters, buddy.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. So, Shadow Force, this is going to theaters on May 2nd. This stars Kerry Washington and Omar Sy. Kerry Washington from Scandal, Omar Sy from Lupin and Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Trilogy. He was in at least 2 of those.
Yes.
Yes.
Upcoming Extraction spinoff as well.
Also Method Man.
Oh, and Oscar winner Divine Joy Randolph is also in this.
She was in that too. Yes.
Yep.
So she's in this too. So this is a movie about Kyra, who's played by Kerry Washington, and Isaac. They're a married couple, once leaders of a multinational special forces group called the Shadow Force, but broke the rules by falling in love. They go underground to protect their son with the rest of the Shadow Force hot on their trail. So it's Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I guess.
With a little twist, because they have a kid.
Which is funny, because Kerry Washington was the boss of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, who went after Angelina Jolie because she married Brad Pitt. So,
right.
Karma.
The trailer looks very like, you know what? This looks like a dumb fun movie to me.
This looked like Heart of Stone.
A little bit.
A little bit.
But it's got Kerry Washington and Omar Sy, so you kind of like the acting's probably going to be better. My concern with this movie is that it's opening up the same weekend as what? Thunderbolts.
Oh, no, that's not smart.
Why would you do that?
That's not smart.
I don't like the fact.
Not for going to theaters.
Why would you do? I feel like this is coming from Lionsgate, and this is no surprise that they making them decisions.
So you're gonna have one screen, just like Opus,
literally
in the whole theater.
And
it's gonna show at 9
I don't like
p.m.
that they setting this movie up, because I would actually go see this in the theaters because it looks like fun, and I want to go support.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go see Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
Yeah.
Y'all watch the trailer. If you don't like Marvel movies, then go watch this instead. You might actually enjoy it. It looks like a fun flick.
Because it's a new original idea that is not slop. It's not a live action Disney slop. It's not MCU slop. Yeah. It's a new non-sloppy franchise entry that everybody's been begging to go to the theaters to see, so that they can get back in the theaters, and it's there. So there better be butts and seats.
It better be.
Y'all don't mean what y'all say.
Right. And this is technically also a female-led action movie.
Yeah. So, things.
Yeah.
All the things. It's checking boxes.
Right. There's a lot of chatter right now going on in the box office talk because both Mickey 17 and Novocaine and Black Bag are tanking at the box office. Like, ain't nobody going, y'all. Like, even if you slash
all non-franchise entries, original ideas.
Even if you slash the budgets of these movies, they still probably wouldn't have made their money back.
Yeah. So the movies are checking the boxes, but the people aren't. So
the people is lying about what they say they want. And they going to go see Lilo and Stitch later this year. I know that's right.
Oh yeah, the live action MCU slop.
No, that's Disney slop.
That nobody wants.
Yeah.
Or Disney slop, sorry.
Yeah, you gotta, even though they're the same company.
Same house, different pot.
Yeah. People be like, MCU and Marvel, like that, or Disney and Marvel, like they're the same studio, y'all. You could shorten your words on that.
I hope to see everybody in the theater
for this.
For Shadow Force.
If you,
exactly what everyone's asking.
And if you can't go Thunderbolts weekend, you can go the weekend.
Yeah, you better be there afterwards.
It's Mother's Day weekend. Take your mama to go see Kerry Washington on Omar Sy.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, so that is all the stops in the trailer park. I almost added the trailer for Together, but it's the same trailer we watched in the theaters. They just released it to the public. It's the same trailer.
Okay.
We saw it.
Something I almost added, watched it, and immediately forgot as soon as you walked in the door. Did you see the first clip for Alien Earth?
No, because they released it while I was on the road here.
Okay.
I didn't have time.
So
I saw the room. I saw the mother room, and there's a black person in it. So
yes.
It's the first time a black person's been in charge of a ship.
Well, when you watch the clip, you might be like, is it good? Is he bad? I don't.
Anybody who has a mother room on the ship is a villain.
Oh, okay.
So
I think he might be the android based on what he does.
No, so yeah, villain.
Yeah, okay.
If we get a droid.
We get a clip of the xenomorph, but the xenomorph looked like he whipping somebody's behind versus just straight eating them.
Yeah, the xenomorphs don't eat people.
Okay,
they just kill you.
Or okay. This one looked like it's tearing somebody up.
Yeah, they do. They kill you.
Okay,
unless they drag you off to be face hooked.
Right. Okay. This still doesn't have a official release date.
No, and I'm sad about it.
It just says summer. So we are hoping that there's going to be an activation at Comic-Con because they had one at something earlier this year.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go as synthetic for one of the days for the other day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I ain't picked my second one yet. But
okay.
Yeah. So that was like a side chatter of not a trailer. And it's not a trailer. It's just a clip.
I like the poster.
The poster looks good.
You saw the egg carton poster?
Okay. No, I didn't see that.
It's a carton of eggs. One of the eggs is a face hugger egg and it's crawling out.
Oh, that's cute.
It says we were safer in space or something.
Okay. Well, the end of this clip, it says destination or crash landing or whatever, Earth.
Yeah.
So this is on before they get there.
I think what happens is the ship carrying the eggs crash lands on Earth and then it starts, things on Earth starts to get face hugged.
Okay.
There's comic books of different types of aliens. There was a xenomorph crocodile because the crocodile got face hugged.
Okay. I wonder if they're going to do that then.
So, yeah, they should do something different.
And we don't know when this takes place, right?
No, they haven't said where in the timeline it takes place.
Right,
I'm assuming before Resurrection because by the time Alien 4 came out, Earth was destroyed. But they didn't explain because all the Alien movies take place in space, so they didn't explain what happened on Earth the whole time. But by the time Alien 4 came out, Earth obviously had some type of nuclear event all over the planet, so it was just a barren wasteland.
Okay.
But
so this has to be before that. Okay.
Yeah, I like the Alien stuff, so
the clip looks good. Like the clip looks good, and I briefly forgot it was a series versus a movie. I was like, oh, so this about to be stressing us out week to week.
So there's a black person and a cat. It's the only crew we know so far. Because the first teaser was like a 5-minute behind the scenes of a cat with a GoPro attached on it, walking around the ship.
In this clip, we see another crew member. It's a young lady. But I don't know if she make it out.
There's a couple other people and some women that they show on Earth. Like maybe after the ship is crash landing.
You got to watch the clip. She on the ship with the black guy who's in the mother room.
But we haven't seen too many shots of the crew, so maybe the crew dies. They all die in the collision, or the alien kills them all on the ship, and then our actual cast is the people on Earth.
This clip is giving that.
Yeah. It looks like that.
This clip is giving exactly what you described. Okay. So when you watch it, you're gonna be like, "Yep."
Because they haven't shown much of the ship or the crew on the ship, and that's the core.
You
of
don't.
What it's supposed to
it's
be about.
only a minute and a half, and so you don't see a whole bunch in this one either.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Cool. All right, so that is all the trailer parks and our alien sidebar. Right. We're gonna dive into this bunch crunch.
All right, so first bunch of crunch we have is a live action and everything nowadays.
Live action slap.
God of War series that has been greenlit at Amazon Prime for 2 seasons. I think it's interesting that they've already given it 2 seasons. So apparently, Amazon got the money. It don't matter anyway. Now, God of War is a video game series that is extremely popular. Yes.
It's been around for a very, very, very extremely long time.
Oh, has it been around for a very long time? There are like 7 or so games?
Yeah.
Okay. You've played?
No.
Okay.
I thought about playing the last 2 because that's when they actually made Kratos interesting. The first couple of games, there's how many? 7?
I think there's like 7.
So the first 5, he was insufferable.
Well, it's interesting. I've never played this game, but I saw the post and was like, oh, this God of War.
It's hack and slash.
Oh, okay.
It's
look it up.
So it's like a hack and slash game. You play one of the sons of Zeus, and we all know who Zeus is. Zeus is the worst. So Zeus orchestrated the murder of Kratos' wife and child, I think. So the first couple of games was Kratos going on a revenge spree, just killing all of the gods of Olympus, and eventually he kills Zeus at the end. And then those are the first group of games. The last 2, which I think came out in the PlayStation 4 era.
Yep, you're right.
Took a big time jump, and he had a son, and he stopped being insufferable. He just started being like a awful dad.
Ragnarok was released in November of 2022 on PS4 and PlayStation 5, and then the last one came out in 2020. Oh no!
So I think the last one was Ragnarok.
Yes, they had an expansion pack in 2023, and then another game has come. No, they put it on Windows in 2024. Yes. So Ragnarok seems like it was the last one.
So
there's a lot of these.
Ragnarok was about him killing Thor. Him and his son. And his son killing Thor.
And I totally lied. There are way more than 7 of these.
So, the last two. The last 2 is when they started getting good.
You're right. Ragnarok is the last 2.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think it's interesting that they're doing this, given how that Halo series went. Or didn't go.
The thing about Halo is that.
And Halo's extremely popular.
Halo is extremely popular.
Yeah.
But the story is not what makes Halo popular.
It's the gameplay?
The multiplayer gameplay is what made Halo
popular.
And
you got to build a story.
They have good campaigns, but the story mode in those games are about 5 hours. 5 to 6 hours max. Could you imagine a 5-hour Final Fantasy?
Yeah, but I said it's not long at all.
It's nothing. So the thing that makes Halo interesting is the gameplay. Then they tried to
play with other people.
They tried to incorporate story, and it didn't really work like that. But God of War, I'm interested to see what version of God of War they're gonna do. Are they gonna do the dad God of War, where he's a father, or they're gonna do Kratos getting revenge on all the gods? Because the first section is just him getting revenge and killing a bunch of gods. The second section is him trying to raise his son and teach him how to survive.
This sounds expensive. The way you just with all these people, gods and Zeuses and
what we're looking for in the Odyssey is what God of War is. It's literally the gods. It's Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, it's based on Greek mythology, Olympian gods, Norse mythology. Yeah. They sound ching ching. I mean, Amazon got it. So
who did the voice acting for his wife?
Oh, let me see.
The chick from Daredevil and True Blood. What's her name? Karen.
Okay.
Karen played Kratos' wife in the last 2 games.
So whoever they sign up for this is going to have to sign on to be locked in for because this is going to take a long time to film. Kind of like Rings of Power. Like, I feel like Rings of Power is so expensive because they just build the whole thing and take everybody everywhere. And the cast list is like 1,200 people long.
It depends. If they're only doing if they're trying to do Dad God of War, there's only 2 games so far.
Okay.
And I know with The Last of Us is reaching this issue.
Oh, they only got 1 more game left, right?
Neil Druckmann said he doesn't think the game's going to get made. He said don't hold the maker of the game.
Oh, he was talking about the game, not the TV
not the show. He said don't expect the 3rd game, which ended on a cliffhanger.
Why not?
Because the game industry has changed. Every day they're laying off a different set of 400 developers.
That is true. Now that is very true.
One game just got in trouble because it released a video game trailer. And it was AI.
Oh, I saw that. And the chick that did the voice came out and said something, right?
AI for a video game, which is crazy. You couldn't even put a trailer together of gameplay. Just had AI render it. Voice actor. It's crazy. They're already doing AI voice actors.
I don't like it.
The Horizon Zero Dawn game.
Oh, I think that was the game where the voice actress came out and was like, how y'all gonna do this?
Yeah, the chick who did the voice acting for the Horizon Zero Dawn came out because they said the next game they want to do AI voice acting.
I don't like it.
I think he's just saying that the way the game industry is going, it's getting hard
might
to
not
make
be
anything, even the successful
Which
stuff.
Which is interesting because it's not only a successful game, it's a successful TV show.
And the game ain't finished. The show hinges on, it's the Game of Thrones thing where the show hinges on the book being done.
Right.
Otherwise it's going to end really bad.
Because they've already broken the second game into 2, right?
Into 2 seasons.
Right. Yeah. They stretching it.
Yeah.
Already. We only in season 2.
So, yikes. And WB. So, we know how they like to flap stuff over there at HBO. So, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I thought it was interesting because how Halo went, but this guy seemed like he got more of a backstory. But it also sounds super expensive. Like Rings of Power expensive.
It sounds super expensive. Where's this going? Oh, yeah.
Prime. In Prime.
They got it.
They got it.
Yeah.
It's given the whole Apple TV is losing $1 billion. Like
they got it.
They make $1 trillion every.
One baseline iPhone is 1,000. They got it.
Hello, the MacBooks is $5,000 a piece.
That's not news. I'm trying to hear nothing about.
We got $10,000 of Mac stuff in here right now.
Didn't they just invest a whole bunch of billions of dollars into growing the satellite network or something?
Sounds like Starlink or something.
You're not losing money if you spend it.
Fine. Apple is Skynet.
Right.
They'll be okay. They'll be okay. All right. Next bit of crunch. Alphonse. Did I say his name right?
I think it's just Alphonse.
Okay. Alphonse Nicholson, who is from P-Valley, and They Clone Tyrone, which I forgot he was in that. He was the guy who was trying to killed John Boyega's character. And when John Boyega came back, he was like, "How are you alive? I killed you." He was a funny guy.
Gotcha.
Who helped him, I think, at the end.
Yeah.
Yes, I liked him. Yeah. I didn't watch P-Valley, but I was like, he looks familiar. I've seen him in something else.
Yeah.
So him and Sherman Augustus, who's also been in a couple episodes of P-Valley, but he is most recently on Stranger Things, are joining the cast of The Lantern. So Alphonse will play a younger version of John Sr., and Sherman will play John Sr., who is John's dad. So,
they're incorporating so much of his parents in this.
Which is interesting. I don't recall
his parents being so much a factor in Jon Stewart's story.
And they said that Alphonse will be reoccurring. So it sounds like we're doing some time jumping.
Well, you know what? There was one episode in Justice League Unlimited because eventually they don't all keep their what do you call it?
Dual personalities?
Not personalities.
Secret identities?
Secret identities,
there we
yes.
go.
Other than Batman, a lot of them kind of just let it go.
Okay.
With the secret identities.
Trying to do both.
There was, I remember one specific episode of Justice League with Jon Stewart where he goes back into his neighborhood, not in his suit, and it's a black neighborhood.
Of course.
And everybody knows that he's Green Lantern. He goes to get a haircut. Kind of like Sam in Brave New World. They kind of treat him just like Sam.
Gotcha. Yeah. Where they like, you the Black Falcon and all that.
He goes back to his own neighborhood, and that's where he hangs out. He doesn't just hang out with the Justice League people.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, we forgot to mention this a couple episodes ago. Ari Parker.
Yeah.
Plays his mom.
And they announced that a couple weeks ago.
But they didn't say that she had a younger version. So it sounds like, is his dad dead? No, because now we have I don't know what's going on here. And maybe I don't watch
I mean, it says young and older dad, so maybe the mom's not in the flashback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But I mean, who knows? Because like I said, his parents weren't prominent.
We are focusing quite a bit on his parents. Yeah. So I saw somebody say that it seems like the show will be more John focused versus John and Hal. It
should be, because it doesn't seem like Hal's sticking around for the Justice League,
which is okay. I mean, there's another Green Lantern,
and they
Superman.
Deliberately cast it older,
right?
Hal, so
yeah. Right. So what is the Green Lantern and Superman gonna be doing?
What is Green Lantern and what is the Oh, that's
it's a different Green Lantern.
That's Guy Gardner. That's a different Green Lantern. Oh, well, they're cops, so you can have more than one on the same planet.
I'm already confused. No,
yeah, they're basically just like a police force.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and as you guys already know, Aaron Pierre is playing our modern day current version of Jon Stewart. So, we'll see. I like the fact that we get more black people in a DC show. So,
Jon Stewart is Jon Stewart is usually the Justice League Green Lantern.
Gotcha.
Hal and John are. Hal first, then John.
Okay, so we might be
Guy
getting rid of Hal.
Usually like he's like cameos, but he never like fully commits to the Justice League.
Gotcha.
He's his own thing.
Okay, yeah. I can see this makes. And Aaron Pierre is more the age of Corn Sweat. You know, they trying to get. They should all be in the same. Right, they should all be in the same age range. And the Batman we don't have yet, who's not Robert Pattinson.
Who has to be older because he has a child who's old enough to be an assassin.
Oh, dang, he's got dang. We're not getting on that soapbox.
So Batman can't be their contemporary.
You're right. I mean, maybe I didn't young.
Sure.
Maybe.
I don't think
but his kid is older.
I don't think that works.
Yeah, because
like an older bratty kid doesn't work with a young adult parent.
You're correct.
That's like Big Daddy.
You're
correct.
I don't like that. You're correct. Boy, this is gonna be
it's a mess.
How this universe is shaped together gonna be interesting. But I'm looking forward to Lanterns. I think we're both looking forward to Superman, and we'll see how it shakes out.
In more news, Saw 11 has been canceled by Lionsgate. Usually don't hear news about this. No. But that's okay. I'm okay with that.
I didn't realize it was 11 of these.
It is 11. Well, it was. It's not. But it was 10. Going to be 11.
They said let's cut it off right at the even 10.
So Saw 11 was set to be released in September of 2025?
Yes. This September.
They could have did that. It doesn't take nothing to make a Saw movie.
It was in like production. Yeah. And I guess they were squabbling on the set, and they were just like, cancel it. It's over.
And Saw doesn't really have stars outside of Samuel Jackson was in Spiral.
Right.
If that's one of the 10. Does that count?
I think so.
Okay.
Sure.
So Samuel Jackson was
the
biggest star that's ever been in a Saw movie.
Okay.
Colin Bell has just been around for a while, but he ain't no Samuel
Jackson. No. Samuel Jack. So
Tobin Bell.
People seem to be kind of broke up about it a little bit. I was like, it's 10 other ones. Y'all was looking for this 11th one for real?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Really?
The storylines of Saw are chopped cheese. The last one was interesting because it was actually a prequel that takes place before.
Yes.
It's about him getting revenge. So
I remember
the Saw
this.
movies are all about he had cancer.
Right.
He's dying.
Right. And they gave him cancer or something, right?
No. The insurance company, they pulled a United Healthcare and said that your cancer's too expensive for us to pay for, so get used to dying. So he started torturing people to teach them lessons. Saw 10, that was what the first Saws were about. Saw 10 was about finding out that he had cancer. He went out of the country to get the cancer removed and went through the whole procedure and found out that they lied. It was actually a scam.
Oh,
that they were going around the world collecting money from people telling them they cured them of cancer and they really didn't do anything.
Straight up Netflix doc.
So Saw 10 was about him going back to the original people that lied to him about curing him of his cancer and torturing them to death. And comes to find out, the other chick, the chick who orchestrated it all, the main doctor, knew who he was when she scheduled the appointment.
And did it anyway.
And because he's awful. He's Jigsaw, so he's not a good person. So
she knew, she was like, I'm gonna get you anyway.
She was like, yeah, I knew who you were. I wanted to scam Jigsaw because you deserve it. So, and she got away. She lived.
Oh.
So good for her.
That sounds like a good plot.
She beat the last trap.
Would never watch it because I don't do torture movies.
I would have been interested in seeing Saw 11 because it kind of made her worse. They kind of made her scared than him because it's like she saw that coming and she was smart. So I wonder,
was 11 supposed to be like her path?
I would have loved to seen her come back.
Okay. Okay. And I'm saying it like I seen it. I'm like, is she coming back?
Yeah. But everybody's dead now. Even he's dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it won't make it. I'm sure at some point they're going to wait like 5 years and start over from scratch, because that's what we do nowadays.
Yeah, Saw's kind of like Final Destination. It doesn't take a lot of
oomph to bring it back.
Especially in the story. Nobody goes for the story.
They got a following.
People go to Final Destination for the freak accidents. People go to Saw for the torture.
We will probably get this as like Saw 2 when they like restart everything, or this will be Saw 1 when they restart everything.
Yeah, sure.
Never fear, guys. This
Saw's not going anywhere.
It's coming back.
Last bunch of crunch. Colin Farrell's in talks to replace James Bond in Luca Guadagnino's DC's adaptation of Sergeant Rock, who is basically Captain America without the whole
Captain America,
without the whole falling into the ice.
Right.
And fighting Red Skull thing.
I think this is funny because Colin Farrell is Penguin. And I'm just kind of like, so y'all couldn't find nobody else. And y'all was like, Colin, please.
I think the last we'll see of Penguin is in the Batman Part 2.
True.
Yeah.
True. And I wonder if they're going to say, hey, you guys love the Penguin and Colin so much. Don't you want to see him play a different character? And it's going to be like, no.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
I would see this.
You was gonna see it before, or you gonna see it?
I was gonna see it with Daniel Craig. I would have been interested in seeing it.
I don't know,
because it's still just a shoot 'em up action movie.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, am I interested in this?
With Daniel Craig? We weren't getting him in James Bond anymore, so I would have seen him in this.
Okay.
Colin Farrell's a good actor, so
I like Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent on this movie. I just think it's somebody did say how the Shrug Wise in talks are not official yet because Colin got a bunch of other stuff going on, and they gotta fit. They got I guess movies lined up that he working on, so he got to fit this in amongst his other things. Plus, he's probably gonna be in Batman 2.
Are they doing a Penguin season 2?
He said he didn't want to.
He shouldn't.
I think like they were like egging it on, like, oh, we haven't talked about it, it may come up, and I think Colin came out and said, I'm not interested in the season 2.
Yeah, just let his last appearance be in the Batman Part 2.
I wouldn't want to dress up like that for another whole season.
Batman has so many good villains in addition to Penguin. Let's not spend our lifetime on just one. Let's move on to the other ones.
I agree.
Yeah.
And we need to kill him anyway.
We do need to kill him.
Spoiler alert, he needs to die.
Yeah.
That's how bad he was. He needs to die.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Just send him back to God.
Somebody. You need to send back to somebody.
Yeah,
God going to be like, I don't want him. Yeah. I'm done. We're finished.
Yeah,
Canceled.
God can walk him
We're
downstairs.
Full.
But I would see that. I'll see it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he wants to do it. it was something about like he's already won an award for it. He's probably taking the character as far as he can go. It takes him like 3 hours to turn into the Penguin every time he does it.
This is less hair and makeup.
Yeah, right. So. Exactly. I mean, he probably ain't got to do much but wear a raggedy outfit or something. I don't know. He'll be fine. So we'll see if this actually pans out or James Gunn says he was never considered and we come out with somebody else.
Right. Because he likes to do that.
Because that's how we roll around these butts.
Mm-hmm. We just deny.
Yeah, right. Because they technically said, no, we were never talking to Daniel Craig. Like, okay, no. Sure. Yeah, you ain't gotta lie. It's fine. Everything don't work out. It's totally.
You were never talking to the guy that was currently doing a press run for another movie with the same director. He was never in consideration.
Right, and he played James Bond, so we know he can do action.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah. Sure.
Another soapbox we'll be saving for another episode.
We'll be the fools. All right, so that is all the movie news, Bunch of Crunch, and Trailer Park this week. Let's take a break and get into our review for Opus.
Yay! This week we watched Opus, which came out March 14th, 2025. It premiered at Sundance in January, so there's already been some chat about this.
A long time ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize Sundance. Wait a minute, Sundance happened this year yet?
Oh, January. Wait, this January?
Yes, I'm tripping. I was like, if Sundance happened this year, we are still in 2025. Sure, I'm back. We're back. Anywho, this movie has already been out for those who went to Sundance. The rest of us just got to see it. It actually came out last week, but we just watched it this week. So the rest of us got to see it in March. Director is Mark Anthony Green. This is his first feature film. So directorial debut here. Casting characters of Opus include Ayo Edebiri plays Ariel Ecton. I'm not doing people's last names. She plays Ariel. John Malkovich plays Alfred Moretti. Now I will say him because he plays the star.
Yes.
Julia Lewis plays Claire. Maury Barlett plays Stan. Amber Midthunder plays Belle.
I like Amber Midthunder. She was in the Roswell reboot that you did not watch.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Okay. Who did she play?
Not an original character. You wouldn't have been interested.
Okay.
I liked her.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. And then we have the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
Those are we'll get into the review. But there was some, Lil Nas X had a cameo in this?
Where?
I don't know. But it says Lil Nas X, Lenny Kravitz, who I remember Lenny Kravitz, as cameos. Bill Burr plays himself. Rosario Dawson voices somebody.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I thought that would have just been a recording, but all right. So I didn't notice Lil Nas X.
I didn't, but I did see Lenny
He must have been very early in the movie. I remember seeing Lenny Kravitz because he has a very distinct
they
look.
was in the same, it says they both played themselves as fans.
Are you still confused about Rosario Dawson?
No.
Oh.
I'm just trying to see where Lil Nas X was.
Oh, no, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
No. There's way too many people in that movie.
Yeah, that sums up our cast.
He must have been one of the people in the montage when he did his announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, interesting.
Okay. Runtime of 1 hour and 43 minutes, so short and sweet and to the point. Budget of $10 million, so tight.
That's what I feel like Black Bag should have had a budget of.
Seeing this movie and then knowing that Black Bag cost $50 million, I'm like, y'all could have did this for 10.
Absolutely.
Or 15 at the most.
Yeah, somebody pocketed a lot.
There's some money laundering. Good movie, by the way.
Great movie. Excellent.
I'm buying that on DVD.
No complaints. It'll have $50 million plus about $27.99
$227.99. It's also doing horribly at the box office, by the way. Unfortunately, so did this movie. It opened weekend and made a cool $1 million.
$1 million.
And currently at the box office after 2 weeks, it's $1.7 million. Ouch. Yikes. I mean, you could have slashed this budget in half like all the other movies, and it still would not have made
super bad.
Its money back.
Yeah.
Cinema score was a C+.
Not good.
Not great.
People didn't enjoy this.
Not great. Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going down the path here. Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it a 40. Also not good. And the audience gave it a 57. The bucket is like tipped over in green on Rotten Tomatoes. So also not good. I think you have to be like a 70 to get your bucket like standing up.
I think that's
in regular color.
I think those scores are a little intense.
I agree. Although I think I would have gave the same cinema score.
These are the scores for like a movie that like offended
Afraid.
You. Yeah.
Or Borderlands.
Something was so bad you feel hurt by it.
Rebel Moon.
Yeah.
Like these are Rebel Moon scores. And it was not a Rebel Moon type movie. Although
Rebel Moon didn't go to theater, so
you're right.
Maybe.
I
would have loved
0.
to see the cinema score.
0
for Rebel Moon.
Can I give it a negative percentage? Soapbox. A lot of soapboxing today. But I do agree with the cinema score. I would have gave it a C+.
Yes.
For sure. Now that we've gone through the facts and figures, Jay, hit us with the plot.
So the plot is John Malkovich plays Alfred Moretti.
Yes.
Who is a legendary pop star.
Very legendary.
Is returning after a generation-long
27 years
hiatus. Ayo Edebiri plays a journalist, not a journalist of any specific type, but just a journalist, a writer.
Yes.
Her and her editor have been invited to a private listening event for his new upcoming album. Yeah. And hijinks ensue.
Correct.
Yes.
A lot of hijinks.
Yes.
So let's talk about our non-spoiler thoughts for this movie. I'll go first. Sure. This is like the menu, but not as good as the menu. It gives. So I will say I'm happy that it was not like Blink Twice. We were both worried. Jay even pointed out something. He was like, "Oh, we about to go there," and I was like, "Oh, we about to leave."
I felt like it was about to go there
because I was
listening too.
Last episode, I was like, "If it goes there, I might walk out because I don't want no more Blink Twice type movies."
Yeah,
we review Blink Twice. Please go check it out. It is a pretty decent movie. But anywho, this movie gives the menu, but it don't execute like the menu.
No, it's like yeah, it's like straight to DVD menu.
Okay, there we go. It looks good though.
$5 bin menu.
It looks good. I mean, we got Ayo, we got John Malkovich, we got people in this.
Only in the writing.
Yeah, I would say in the direction.
Sure.
Because it was written and directed by the writer and the director artist in this instance.
If what's written isn't good, it won't be good directed.
No, you can't out direct bad writing.
No, you can't. You can out act bad.
You can try.
You can try.
If you like a Denzel or Willem Dafoe.
Sure.
And then even John Malkovich couldn't even do it, unfortunately. The characters were a little frustrating going along with whatever's going on.
Yeah.
I was like, this is stupid.
A lot of the characters were flighty just for the sake of being flighty.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Ayo and John Malkovich were fine as far as acting in this. I would have actually liked to spend more time with the other people in the movie because they're just there. And they have parts because things happen to them. Yeah. But it's just kind of like, I mean, we are 99%, 95% of the movie, we are just with Ayo and John. And I would have liked to have been with somebody else. Just a little bit. Kind of like in Blink Twice where Naomi Ackie was like the main. And then we also got Channing Tatum. But we did spend just a little bit of time knowing about the other characters a little bit.
The other girls.
Maybe that would have helped. The pacing was fine, but the movie is short. So that helped. It didn't need to be a minute shorter. I mean, a minute longer. Like, it was fine what it is. Okay. It does have a little bit of a twist at the end that I appreciated in hindsight, even though I felt like it was a stretch. And because I felt like it took too long to get to what are we doing here and why are we doing this? Yeah. So there's a better movie in here somewhere, but it ain't this. Those are my non-spoiler thoughts.
Okay. So, yeah, it's definitely diet menu.
Yeah. Diet menu, that is funny.
I don't think they and for that comparison, I just think the reason I think that is because the menu this needed more music. The menu had more food. Yes. And the food was used.
It was all based around the food.
Each course was a lesson.
Yes.
And it progressed. Each new course progressed, took you to the next chapter of the film.
Yeah.
This didn't have the music to match that.
Oh, you make a very good point.
And that's why it's diet menu. It's basically the menu. They switch it from cooking to music, except you don't get any music in this. You get like 2 songs.
Snippets of 2 songs.
Yeah, 3. You get his comeback song, you get the song he performs, and you get the 1 song that they play in the room. But the music isn't used like it is used in the menu to progress the story or progress the characters.
And this movie is called Opus.
The menu used the food to tell why the characters were there and why they were selected and, you know, why they were involved. And this movie didn't really tell you why these people were invited until the very end. It tells you why one specific person was invited, and you kind of have to form your own opinion for why the other
through why everybody else was there, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
So that's why I think it's like the diet menu. It attempts at the same thing, but it doesn't do it. It doesn't pull it off as well. And I think that sucks because the brief snippets of music we got, I enjoyed. Yeah, I feel like it would have been good. I thought this could have been my new trap album.
Listen, so the people who did the music on this were Neil Rogers and The Dream. So we got people.
So literally, the Beyonce.
Beyonce's team.
We were 1 degree of separation away from Renaissance and Cowboy Carter.
Interesting.
But for some reason, they just didn't want to write enough songs for the movie.
And the budget.
I thought Ayo Edebiri was good as an actress in it. I thought she actually didn't do anything that I like. I don't want to give anything away, but she's our main character. She didn't do anything that frustrated me.
Okay.
Like she was the thing that frustrated me is that she got herself in a situation. But I mean, once you're there, it's kind of like you can't. You're stuck. So she made smart decisions based on the fact that she wasn't going to be able to go anywhere.
I give her grace on the fact that she was stuck.
Yeah, I mean, she was stuck. So.
She was, okay. Fair.
She could have made a lot dumber decisions there.
Sure.
But she didn't. John Malkovich was good. I think he was good. I do think his character had some issues. Yeah. But his acting was fine. He's John Malkovich.
Right. The issue of the movie wasn't the acting per se.
I feel like they treated a lot of the side characters like set dressing.
Okay.
Instead of actual parts of the story.
That's why I say I would have liked to spend more time with them.
Like they were there, but they
took up
weren't
space.
Essential at all. We didn't really get too much of who they are or where they came from. We didn't
need their names, to be honest.
We didn't even need their names. I mean, we spend so much time with Ayo, and the rest of them kind of just go with the flow of whatever's happening without questioning. So they stop becoming like characters and just start becoming like part of the plot.
Yeah, plot devices.
Yes.
Essentially. Yeah.
I thought it was shot very well.
It looked good. Yeah, I agree.
I enjoyed seeing Amber Midthunder again.
I don't particularly care for her character, but
I didn't particularly care for her character in here. She didn't have any speaking lines.
I think she spoke like twice.
She spoke twice. She said good morning.
Okay.
Yes. So she spoke maybe twice.
Yeah, but I do like her. Yes, because we haven't seen her. I haven't seen her since Prey.
She's supposed to be in that. Is she going to be in that Leo movie too?
She is in something. Hold on, let's look her up. Oh wait,
she's got a big movie coming
just
out.
Click on her name here. Amber Midthunder is going to be in. Oh, she was in Novocaine.
Yeah, I mean, she was in Novocaine.
She was Novocaine.
I thought she had a big movie coming out.
It's not on her wiki yet, but she does have something coming out.
Yeah, I think she's in talks to be in something. But she was also in Avatar. The series on Netflix, not the movie.
Okay. I was like, was she?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was in the live action Avatar series.
I like her. I didn't like this character that she played, but I like her.
I'm glad that it didn't trend in the blink twice direction.
Child, I would have left.
We asked for anything else. It could have been aliens. It could have been
sci-fi,
sea creatures.
cloning.
It could have been unicorns. It could have been anything. But as long as it wasn't in the blink twice direction, I would have been fine with.
Right.
And it wasn't. So I enjoyed that. Digestible hijinks.
There you go. We can. I'll take that versus any of the other stuff that we thought that was going to be.
And that's all I'll leave for my non-spoiler.
All right. So if you don't want to be spoiled about this movie, check out now. Come back when you want to watch it, if you watch it, and listen to the rest of our episode. But we're going to get in spoilers in 3, 2, and 1. So when we get into spoilers, we just talk about the characters. Mm-hmm. Since we spent 90% of the movie with only 2 people, we're going to talk about the 2 people, and then we're going to...
I was only going to throw in the others,
and clump them all in together as we talk about the movie.
My thoughts.
There you go. So we have Ayo Edebiri, who plays the journalist Ariel Ecton. Mm-hmm. She is invited. Her boss, like you said, her editor, also gets what Moretti does is sends out gift baskets to people who he wants to come to listen to the party.
Yeah, so he's basically like, I put down that he's like a mix between Elton John, Madonna, and Prince.
Okay, fair enough.
As far as
notoriety and famous.
Beyonce hasn't done this yet, but they've all kind of disappeared long enough for there to be a generation of people who weren't around for an album release. And now this is to be their first time getting an album.
Yes,
so
you're right.
That's kind of
you're
what
right.
they
So he
do.
is like a mega star. Yeah. He sends out these gift baskets and a tape with his publicist that tell, hey, he's coming back. So her boss gets one, and then she also gets one. And everybody's like, oh, and she's like, not a notable journalist or anything. So everybody's kind of surprised that she gets one. She gets there and I'll give that she was immediately like, something is weird here. And she immediately kind of picks up on the cult-like nature when they get to Moretti's compound. So she's got a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear that it's a cult. When you go onto a reservation,
Yeah, it is like a reservation pretty much.
And everybody's wearing the same clothing.
They're all wearing denim.
They're all wearing the same color. They're all very robotic. It's like, yeah, this is
everybody's like super nice.
Textbook cult.
Except every myth.
They collect your phones as soon as you arrive to not soil the nature of the experience. It's like, yeah, super
phone and laptops. So they took everybody's phones. They took everybody's laptops. They all sit together for dinner, which is not a cult like thing, but it's very much kind of like, I don't know. Everybody's just too happy.
I was waiting for the punch to come out. I was waiting for the special Kool-Aid to come out.
I thought the special Kool-Aid was at the end. To be very honest, I was like,
up.
This is the part.
My red flags were going up.
This is the part where the Kool-Aid come out. Mm-hmm. Something. Each of the people got a vessel, like a clay pot, at the beginning, and it never came back up.
Love the clay pots.
They were very nice.
We don't want to give too much spoilers, but yeah, I can see that it never came back
up. And the compound is very much like they make their own food, they make their own clothes, they have their own schools. Like, don't nobody leave. It's very big.
It's a reservation.
It's very big. Yeah. It's gated, so everybody can't come in there. But
it's 4 miles away from the nearest city.
40. Remember?
40 miles. Well, I'm sorry, 4 hours.
Oh,
it's a 4-hour drive.
Sorry. Yeah, it's 4 hours, so it ain't no bus stops, ain't no internet.
It's in the middle of nowhere in like Utah, I think.
I think, you know what? I don't know where they are.
I think I saw Utah.
Fair. It looked like they in Utah.
Yeah.
I get that. But she gets there and she wants to write her own story, and her editor tells her, I'm writing a story. I just need you to take notes. So she's already feeling like a little defeated because she's been downgraded to just like take notes when she was personally invited like everybody else.
And we got an explanation earlier in the movie where as far as her character, she has been working at this newspaper or whatever magazine or whatever print media she works at. She's been working there for 3 years and she's never written anything substantial. And her dream is to write something big and become famous from it. And she wants to write her thoughts and her feelings. She wants to write something important.
Right. So, and her boyfriend tell her, you middle of the road, you ain't had no experience. Right. You had no groundbreaking experiences. So, you just like regular.
This was supposed to be her chance to write something big. Right. Moretti's return.
And her manager her boss is kind of like, I just need you to take notes. So she's doing her job, but she's also observing. And as the movie goes along, she's kind of like, well, I'm going to put together my own article and hopefully I can get it published. But she picks up on things pretty good. I like the fact that, it's frustrating though. It's always one character who's got their head on straight and then everybody else don't. And it's just a constant struggle between the rest of the characters and the main character, like, y'all, something weird.
Yeah, I hate movies where...
And they're like, no, everything's fine. And she's like, no.
I hate movies where you have to spend time convincing people that the girl who's noticing the obvious isn't crazy.
Yes, and that's exactly what we get here. So
naysayers.
Right. So it's frustrating, like I said earlier, it's frustrating that our side characters are just kind of like going along with it, lollygagging. And it's also frustrating because obviously Ayo's character, Ariel, is trying to get a heads up on like, hey y'all, something's weird, and don't nobody believe her. She can't escape. Like, she is stuck there. There's a point in the movie where she tried to leave and they kind of like, oh no, we'll call the bus, just chill out, we got one more thing for you to do. And she's like, no, I'm trying to go. So the acting is fine, her character was fine, her supporting cast was just kind of like meh.
Right.
For me.
She was invited with 5 guests, and the guest each day or each event, something happens and a guest disappears. Right. One guest didn't return after his massage, and they said he was going to show up later. He didn't.
Don't nobody ask.
One girl clearly was having an allergic reaction to one of the drinks.
Yeah.
They took her to an infirmary. She didn't come back. They asked about it. They said she was going to meet him at the next thing, and she didn't. And it was kind of like, Ayo Edebiri is the only one who's questioning the fact that people are going missing on a compound where we're 4 hours away from the nearest civilization. Like, where did these people go?
Exactly. So I appreciate that we got at least one smart person. And like you said, for the most part, she don't do nothing super frustrating. And the things that she does do, she has to because she's kind of stuck.
Yeah. I feel like the situation was too obvious for there to be naysayers.
Okay.
It didn't make sense for her other guests to just be like, oh, chill out, just have a good time.
Right.
You're worried about nothing. It's like, people are missing. Only 5 of us.
You came with other people that you have not seen.
The only people who are new here are us.
Right.
And everybody else lives here. So if you're not from here, you shouldn't be going missing here.
Exactly.
Which was the case.
Right. So I like that her character was our point of sanity.
Yeah. I like that she was smart. I like that she didn't really make any dumb decisions the entire time. The dumbest decision she made was going, but she didn't know.
Right. You didn't know until you got there. Right. And she's trying to advance her career. So there was no way she wasn't going to go anyway. So yeah. Any other thoughts on her?
That is, let's see.
Her hair is funny. So.
Oh, yes, the hair.
This is unrelated to her character at all, kind of really. So her hair in the beginning and at the end of the film, it's like this curly situation. It's like straight, and then she got like a bunch of ringlet curls that's been fluffed out. And then when she's on the reservation, they put her in like this long wig. I was like, I kind of like the long wig. It's kind of cute. Then I was also like, how they got this wig on this reservation?
I wondered if the Pam Grier comment was intentional.
Okay.
Because she said she had the cheekbones of Pam
Somebody
Grier.
does tell her that. I think that she was just trying to make her at ease and make her feel at home.
And then the hair at the end, I was like, I wonder if that's deliberate.
Oh.
That because the one chick who she had a good experience with on the compound mentioned that she looked like Pam Grier, and then she's trying to change her look.
She was one of the other black women at the end.
Are you intentionally making yourself look like Pam Grier?
It's just because it was way more fluffed out.
It was way more curly. I was
like, girl, did you tease it extra?
I mean, it was 2 years later, so it growth and stuff. But,
You're right.
I mean, shrinkage.
It was pressed.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know. Her hair it was funny to me because it was obviously 2 different ways in the movie. And nothing to do with nothing else.
John Malkovich plays Alfred Moretti.
So he is our pop star. John Malkovich does good he's John Malkovich. So no notes as far as acting. I do think there were parts that he played that didn't sell me as a pop star.
A lot of times it seemed like he was trying to imitate Elton John.
Okay.
And his like cadence, like how he talked.
Definitely
how he dressed. Definitely the clogs was Elton
John.
He
definitely, wardrobe was definitely giving Prince, Elton John.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. There's one scene where he's performing or like they're doing like a listening party. So he's kind of like performing a song. He's like lip singing a song, not like really performing it. And he's like dancing around. And I'm just like, I'm not being sold that this man was a pop star because he looks real chunky.
That to me made sense.
Did it?
Because this is a pop star who was famous in the 90s.
Okay.
Who's coming back 27 years later.
Okay.
And his sound is he goes from being very Prince.
Yeah.
And very Elton John in his older music.
Yeah.
To now he sounds very The Dream, The Weeknd.
Okay.
And I was like, that makes sense for like an older star coming back, co-opting the newer sound and it not feeling very
authentic.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't feel authentic.
That makes sense like when you add that context.
You're now selling to a different audience than because he does say, over the years, my career has attracted a who's who of people. So
yeah, because Ayo is the youngest of the 5 people. Everybody else is like her editor's age, so they a little older.
Yeah. So his comeback album kind of sounded like he's working with younger producers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that you frame it that way, but the movie didn't frame that for me. Like,
no, I definitely did a lot of the heavy lifting.
You had to explain that. So I was like, why is he acting so clunky, chunky, like not off? It was just rubbery and stiff.
Yeah.
But now, okay, that makes sense. But other than that, John Malkovich does a very good job of playing like a cult leader. That's essentially what he is.
Oh, yeah.
He talks real smooth and gentle, and he doesn't really get super upset. And when somebody else gets upset, he's like, no, calm down. Everything will be fine. So he sells it to a T. Unfortunately, he's a trash person, horrible individual, but it's a cult. So this is what you can expect from such a character. But other than that, his character was, like I said, him and Ayo did fine. They were not the problem. The characters had some nitpicks, but it was overall everything else.
Yeah. I thought he did a good job. I like John Malkovich in all his roles.
Yep.
He's John Malkovich. He's really good.
Right.
I found him funny.
Okay.
He has lines that, not lines, but monologues that go on for a while.
They do.
And it ends up being funny, like his mosquito story, which I found weird and very interesting while he was telling it. I found it very weird and strange. Like, why is this man telling this lie?
It was obvious a lie.
But at the end, it was supposed to be a joke. And I didn't get that. I was like, at the end, it was like, okay, you're not just telling a lie because you're weird and kooky and crazy. You're intentionally trying to tell a joke and be funny.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and that's how he kind of sold his relatability, right? Like he's funny and he's writes music that you can relate to, and he's not like mean like you would expect the typical pop star to be. So he sells it really well.
He sold me on the cult, not like I'm a believer, but he had the cult jargon down.
Oh,
like the way he talked about
he was giving Jim Jones.
The religion that, absolutely. The religion they discovered, he introduced is called Levelist. And he said that he didn't invent it, but towards the end of the movie, I kind of got the idea that you made this up.
The Levelist sounds like a cult.
Yeah, so you made this up. He says he didn't create it.
But he didn't say who.
Right, it was you.
And normally those cults like that have a person that they always like
they reference
bringing up, right? Because they're like, oh, he's our leader because he started this or whatever. But they don't ever mention it.
Exactly. And you're the orchestrator of this whole film and the things that take place in the beginning and the end. So you are the cult leader.
He is definitely the founder OG.
But he sold me on the explanation of what Levelists are. And basically what he says what Levelists are, they are people who believe that everybody has the ability to achieve greatness.
Everybody has a chance to be a god, capital G at some point.
Not everybody is special. True balance is understanding that most people aren't special, but there are special people around the world,
right?
And they balance each other out. It was contradicting in the cult way.
It's a bit of word salad.
The metaphor with the clams I got, and I enjoy. It made sense with his explanation.
Okay,
where
about
basically
finding the pearl.
Not everybody's special. The belief of the Levelist is that not everybody's special, but everybody has the potential to be special. And the whole thing with the clams and the pearls is that not every clam has a pearl in it, but once you do find a pearl, it creates balance, I guess.
Yeah, it was a lot of word salad, but he sold a very nice Caesar salad to these people.
Yeah, so. And the significance of the pearls, the loyal Levelist. You can identify a Levelist because they do the ceremony or whatever.
That, and then they make a necklace out of the pearls that they collect.
Yeah, so the people who are Levelists, you can tell because they have knife scars on their hands, which means they did the pearling. Yeah. And they have the pearl necklace, which you can only get by at least finding 2 pearls.
Exactly.
So that's how you know if somebody's a Levelist, if they have a pearl necklace that's made of like leather and 2 pearls on it.
Yeah, it looks like yarn or string or leather or something. It's very unassuming. Like you wouldn't see a necklace like this and be like, oh, you're a cult leader. You would just be like, oh, nice necklace.
Last thing I mentioned about Moretti is wardrobe. I thought his wardrobe was very good.
Agree.
Costuming was for him. I mean, he's the only person who's dressed in anything that isn't denim.
Significant.
Yeah. So I thought his costuming was really good.
Agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So next we'll kind of just, do we do likes and dislikes or do we talk about everybody else together?
So I can just run through it.
Go.
So Ayo Edebiri is joined by a few people. I have the cast list here. So Juliette Lewis plays Claire Armstrong. She's a former sex symbol and current TV host.
Yes.
They didn't really explain what her career was prior to TV, but they just dropped the sex symbol line. Yeah. So maybe she was like a former model or something.
And she plays kind of like an airhead.
Yeah. She kind of reminds me of, was that Kate Hudson in the Knives Out sequel?
Yep. She was like Kate Hudson in Green Glass Onion.
Yeah, in Glass Onion.
Said Green Onion.
Murray Bartlett plays her editor, her chief editor. He's significant because he was around during the last couple of album releases for Moretti.
Yep, and he's super starstruck.
Super starstruck. He was writing when the last album dropped. And he knows all about how he does his rollouts. So he's like a super fan. And he's older. The rest of the people that were invited with her are older fans who have known Moretti for a while. She's the only young person that's been invited.
Or from the industry from back then, too. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Melissa Chambers, who plays Bianca, she was invited because she's a paparazzi person who's been in the paparazzi business for a long time. She used to follow him around to place to place and take photos of Moretti. And Stephanie Suganami plays Emily, who is a modern day influencer. She's an Instagram influencer.
Forgot about Emily.
She's had such a minor part. I don't even think she had speaking lines.
She had a minor part, but she
saw too much of her at the end.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it ain't none against the actress.
No,
at all. Period.
She was fine. She didn't have a lot of people didn't have very many speaking lines.
Nope.
There were a lot of people in this,
including Amber Midthunder, who plays Ayo Edebiri's concierge, who's supposed to be with her 24/7. She's a weirdo.
The last person I'll mention is one of the actors that we recognize from Killers of the Flower Moon. He played the detective. He played one of the FBI agents who was also indigenous.
Is he even on here?
He's not listed on the cast list. I'm trying to see if I can find his name.
Oh, I have something funny to say after. He's not. I don't even see him on here. He's not Bill. He's not Rachel.
I think I found him. Yes, Tatanka Means.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Tatanka Means is in this. He previously was one of the FBI agents in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Which I really liked his character.
I really liked his character because they did not know he was an FBI agent. They assumed because he was indigenous that he was just somebody they could swindle.
Right.
And I love that.
I really liked his character in here. In this particular movie, he was just kind of the
cult
enforcer.
Member.
Yeah, not big at all.
A lot of the cult members were Native American, and I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that maybe they were on a former reservation
that he probably just bought out.
But I noticed a lot of them were indigenous.
Yeah, and it was a diverse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he had a diverse following: Black people, indigenous people, Native Americans.
Yeah, but most of the leaders and stuff we saw were the indigenous people. So I wonder if there was a connection there.
The guy who played his sidekick or his assistant, Moretti's assistant, it was played by Tony Hale.
Yes, who is he from?
He's from the Beyonce Verizon commercial.
That's who he is. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff, but it seems like he's got a lot of voice acting.
I guess he was his PR agent. I'm not sure.
He did. I think he said he was his agent.
Yes, he was his agent, but he was in a bad wig, y'all. And I was like, he really, looked familiar.
Bad. He kind of looked like the Mandarin, the fake Mandarin.
He did. He looked like a slightly younger Mandarin.
Yes, the wig kind of made him look like the Mandarin,
and like the lace wasn't all laid. I was like, why does it look
like the strands in the front was the same length as the strands in the back?
Right. And now I know he's done other things besides working with Beyonce, but that's the last thing I saw him in was the Beyonce Verizon.
It bothered me because I was like, where have I seen your face before?
That is him. So those are the rest of our characters who are in and out, and we'll talk about what happens to some of them as we go along. But anybody of note we want to focus on before we go into our likes and dislikes?
No, I'm ready for likes and dislikes.
All right. Likes, the music.
I like the music.
That's about it.
Oh.
I don't really have much else I didn't hate this movie, but I don't think I had a great time. And I was just kind of like, let's kind of just get to the end.
Nothing of extreme significance happened until the end of the movie.
That is my problem.
And the rest of the movie was kind of just build up for things that we already knew were weird. Like any person with a conscious mind would have been able to pick up all of this is weird.
Right.
But we're still doing the build up for all the weirdness. Yeah. And then at the end, it takes you exactly where you thought you were going to
And they do it in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. It takes you exactly where you thought you were going to be.
That's not really that satisfying.
And I thought what they were going to do is do a little bit more mystery with the cult. Like Blink Twice, you didn't realize what it was until the third act.
Agree.
You could have assumed it was a cult the entire time, but they didn't really tell you what it was.
Exactly.
This, they tell you it's very upfront. Ao, the character, identifies very, very, very early on.
Like we get the name of the cult and everything.
This is a cult. Mm-hmm. He sends a book outlining like teachings. The beliefs, like it's Scientology, outlining like the beliefs and stuff before they even get there. She reads it, talks about teaching them young and taking over the world. Yeah. So they didn't do the mystery. They didn't do the build up with the cult. No, even the menu did mystery. You didn't know what was going to happen. Right. You knew Ralph Fiennes was crazy, but you didn't know
But you didn't even know he was crazy till meal 2 or 3.
You didn't know one of the chefs was going to come out and blow his brains out.
Right.
In the middle of the dinner.
No.
So they played it more with the mystery in those movies.
There's no real mystery in this other than what's going to happen at the end.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting to get to the end and be like, okay.
Even though this movie kind of borrows from those, it doesn't do it as well.
Correct. You're right. You're right. And my one, I guess I kind of talked about my dislikes. But that was my only big was that the music. Yeah. That's all I had.
I didn't think the shaving scene was necessary because it didn't lead up to anything. It only just made just made everybody uncomfortable.
Led to nothing. Mm-hmm. To describe it, so they have to get dressed. Our guests have to get dressed to go to this listening party, but for whatever reason, they all also have to be shaved in their private section.
Mm-hmm. They have to be tidy.
But there's and that's where we thought it was about to get Blink Twicey. Yeah. But it literally never comes up again.
Yeah. That was so the two things. One, before the shaving, she asked him about Levelist. She asked one of the loyalists about what the culture is. Mm-hmm. And they said that they are protecting creation and those who are burdened with it. So in my mind, I was like, this sounds like procreation.
Okay.
Like a birthing.
You thought they was forcing people to have
And then
kids.
they did the shaving. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ugh. Right after the birthing cult.
Right.
So
we thought it was about to go there.
I was like, great. Here we go. We're already beginning.
Yeah, so I agree with you. It
didn't go anywhere. So I add that as her second dumb decision. I wouldn't have let them shave me.
But I only given her grace because, I was going to say,
maybe she
didn't really have no option. So it was kind of like, I got to do what I got to do.
That was nuts. I didn't think that was necessary. And it didn't amount to anything.
Nope. Any other likes or dislikes? This was an interesting watch in terms of like trying to pull out something like, is there anything here for me? I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
And I'll just put that I didn't like that nobody was questioning anything, which we kind of touched on already.
Frustrating.
I don't like a movie full of everybody's a naysayer except for the main character, even though obvious crazy stuff is happening in their face. Nobody's questioning anything.
Her boss was even kind of like, yeah, I mean, kind of, but you mean kind of, but this is a cult.
What? We're 4 hours away from help
and people
if we
are
need
missing.
it. He even got shot with an arrow in the chest, and he still wanted to stay. Coincidentally, after having a discussion about Ayo about the fact that they were in a cult, he gets shot by an arrow.
I'm pretty sure he was supposed to die.
Yeah, within earshot of their 24-hour concierges who were actually their bodyguards and
pretty
people
much
keep them from running away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, clearly it's a cult and you were almost murdered, but he wanted to stay for the music.
It just didn't make no sense.
And 18 tracks you could have listened to on Tidal.
Your way home.
Yeah, ridiculous.
What are we doing?
You could have waited a couple weeks and it would have been at anywhere for you to pick up a physical copy.
Thank you very much.
But I didn't like the fact that one big example was the bread sharing. I felt that weird. Nobody questioned it and they immediately started biting into it.
Everybody there's like a loaf of bread that starts at the head of the table and they just pass it down and everybody's supposed to bite off the table. Bite off the bread.
You're not bite with your mouth and
not
your nasty
no fork.
Your nasty spitty mouth.
Everybody's just biting off the same.
And by the time she gets it, it's soggy because it's been bitten off by everybody. And this is a cult. This is cult activities. Why can't we have our own bread?
She just bites the bread.
Right after the bread, you brought out blue crab. So you have quantities of food. Why do we have to share this roll?
Y'all not doing nothing else but making clothes. Y'all could have made some extra bread.
Disgusting.
It just seemed like that the shaving scene and the bread scene were supposed to like set up some sort of like, see, this cult is this, and it's kind of like, but they didn't really add like in the menu. The bread or the absence of bread was significant.
Yeah.
And then like the food items, like the tortillas were significant. But like the shaving and the sharing of the bread was just like, okay, y'all weird. Next.
Yeah. And they just were pacifying it. And it made me think of Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park when he was like, yeah, that's how they get you. It's ooh and ah, and then there's running and screaming. And that's exactly what it turned into.
Literally what this movie was. Literally.
So let's just get into the ending.
So, first person who goes missing is Bill. Now, Bill apparently was somebody who was a rival of Moretti. Bill goes to get a massage, and he tries to get up because it sounds like somebody else is coming in the room while he's getting a massage, but he can't get up. Somebody like keeps pushing him down, and then eventually we hear like a drill.
It sounded like a saw.
A drill or a saw, and he starts screaming, and then it cuts.
Yeah.
So Bill goes missing.
You get lots of fleshy cutting sounds.
Ariel asks where he is, and they're like, oh, he had a longer massage. And everybody's like, oh, he's such a indulgent. He always does things like this.
The massage was yesterday. The massage was last night.
Who has a 24-hour massage?
And now it's time for our morning activity.
Makes no
sense.
sense.
He's going longer on the massage.
It didn't make any sense.
Now, the lady in Mexico beat me to crap, but it didn't take me a whole day to recover.
Okay. You came out at the end.
She massaged me until I felt like raw ground beef in a pack.
Y'all supposed to tell her lights pressure. Anywho.
It was my first massage. I didn't know you could have a preference.
Yes. You're supposed to tell her too hard, too soft. Anywho. So Bill go missing. Obviously, something's happened to him. We don't know what.
Next is the influencer girl.
They
do the listening party. Mm-hmm. They all get a drink.
Something.
I thought the drink was spiked, but it wasn't.
It was not.
It was just regular alcohol, but it was milky of some sort.
Yeah.
So it clearly had nuts in it of some sort. Mm-hmm. She obviously was having some type of allergic reaction. I thought that was clear because she had the signs like the coughing, the constant coughing. Mm-hmm. So they say they're taking her to infirmary. Right. She's gone until the third act of the movie.
Yeah. And once again, Ariel points out 2 people are gone. Everybody else is like, oh, that's okay.
So we're down to Ayo, the editor, the sex symbol, and the paparazzi. Those are the only guests we have left for the rest of the trip. Exactly. Eventually, Ayo's like, this is weird. The people are
too weird.
The people are missing, and she finds their phones in a barn with the screens scratched up so they can't be used.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, they took sandpaper to their screen.
Okay, so I was trying to make out what she was doing with the phones, but yeah phones are unusable.
Yeah,
at this point.
She finds other phones in a bag with the screen scratched off. So they were never planning to let them leave. So she's like, I want to go. She gets her stuff. She's like, take me to the bus. Get me out of here. They come up with an excuse, like you said earlier, that the bus went into town. So she's going to have to wait 40 minutes to come back. So
they're telling her, oh, it's okay. You can wait. We're going to call it. But one of the little girls were like, oh, I wanted you to see this puppet show. Can you please see the puppet show? And, you can't tell kids no. Yes, you actually can. So, but she can't leave anyway. So she's like, sure, fine.
So John, a couple of the cults followers, and the 4 guests that we have left go to the puppet show. And the puppet show is weird, but I guess I got it.
Super weird.
So the puppet show has a bunch of taxidermy rats that look like what's the rat that used to teach the Ninja Turtles? Splinter.
Yeah. I mean, but it's nasty.
Nasty, like nasty looking
And then
rats.
A puppet of Billie Holiday, who was voiced by Rosario Dawson, I guess.
So the rats are basically asking her really personal questions about controversies in her past. And Billie Holiday's answers are kind of just like, I'm just trying to better myself and move on with my life. And I thank the people who are my fans, blah, blah, blah. But I think the theme of the play, of the puppet show, was about the tabloids focusing on the controversy and not like the artists themselves as a person.
Sure, whatever. I was too distracted by the taxidermy dead rats to even pay attention.
We got it got gross with the imagery towards the end, a lot gross. So during the middle of the puppet show, Ayo Edebiri's beanbag, because they all get sat on beanbags, her beanbag starts moving.
Something inside of it.
Out of the beanbag crawls Emily, the influencer who went missing. And
who had the allergy attack.
And her eyes and her tongue are swollen. I guess this was the day before.
Yes.
So she's been in an allergy attack for 24 hours at least. Her eyes are swollen shut.
No idea how you survived that.
Her tongue is swollen where it's outside of her mouth. It's like the worst bee sting you could ever see somebody have. She looked gross. She looked really, really, really
so
bad.
gross that it's like there's no way she's alive.
He poked her in the eye and it squirted out like pus
or something. No way
she
was alive at that point.
It was disgusting.
She's just suffering.
Yeah, so she's just suffocating to death until she dies.
Essentially.
And John Malkovich does his reveal, which is basically, he goes on this long rant where he talks about Caesar being abducted by pirates.
Now that speech could have been cut.
It could have been cut. I kind of got what he was trying to say at the end.
I was just like,
but he tells a story of Caesar being abducted by pirates, and the pirates didn't know he was Caesar, so they tried to ransom him back at the regular common folk salary.
Right, but he was actually worth
Caesar
more.
was like, no, I'm wealthy. You're going to ransom me back for what I'm worth. And he tells the story. And what I got from that is him just basically saying all of this is a big vanity project. Okay. It's all about me. He gives earlier in the movie, he kind of tells it's about levelist. Yeah. It's about the religion and belief and blah, blah, blah. But
it's not about that at all.
I think it's just about him.
This is typical cult behavior.
He's a big celebrity. He has a huge following that spans generations and generations. People enough to get all these people out here.
Plenty of cash.
So this is a vanity project, and he's basically telling her like, even amongst the peasants, I'm still king.
Sit up atop of all y'all. Yeah. Y'all ain't nothing to me.
Yeah.
So now I'm about to kill all y'all.
All the people that he's invited have all wronged him in some way in the past. They talked about his appearance, or they photographed him.
He didn't like it
in ways that he didn't like.
Somebody talked about his dog.
The guy he killed earlier was because he was critical about the fact that he taxidermied his dead dog. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted that.
I don't know.
I think the editor gave a bad review.
Somebody talked about his bald head.
His album. Yeah, the sex symbol talked about his bald head, and he didn't like that. So
just frivolous.
He has the loyalists kill them all. He stabs the editor and the paparazzi photographer to death. Mm-hmm.
Luckily, we see Amber Midthunder doing the action, but we don't see the actual stabbing all the way.
No, I need to see her get stabbed.
Thankfully, I was like, I do not want to see, because you can hear them screaming. Yeah, but I was like, I don't need to see this.
I felt bad for the editor. Mm-hmm. No, I didn't feel bad for the editor. The editor got what he deserved, because she warned him on several occasions that the situation they were in was bad.
They already tried to kill him with the arrow.
He wanted to stay for the sake of saying, and he was going to steal her article. So
he was.
Send him packing. Absolutely.
I didn't mind any of these people.
Straight to the upper room with him.
Yeah.
The paparazzi girl I felt bad for, and the sex symbol girl I felt bad for, because they didn't ask for this.
They were truly innocent. Mostly everybody was innocent.
They were fans.
Right.
And they all loved his music. They genuinely loved his music.
Right. And what celebrity they don't get noisy chatter?
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I don't like the fact that his motivation is just nitpicks.
Yeah.
They're just you killed people for nitpicking. So Ariel jumps out a window, tries to escape. She runs into Amber Midthunder. They have a tussle. She gets knocked out, and her and the sex symbol are tied up in like a back-to-back, and they're about to have like a ceremony.
They're doing the Kool-Aid.
They're about to do the Kool-Aid situation, and I guess sacrifice them as to whoever.
Yeah.
And one of the levelists
the private part shaver.
The private part shaver actually helps Ariel escape. She like cuts a rope. They run. She running. She gets to the gate. Amber Midthunder's chasing her. She running. She gets over the gate and she escapes.
Yeah, she leaves.
And we jump 2 years into the future.
Mm-hmm.
She's written her book about her experience. Her book is a bestseller, obviously, because this is a crazy story about a very crazy pop star. She actually, before we jump, we showed that she actually went to the cops. The cops come arrest Moretti, and Moretti actually goes to jail.
Yeah, Moretti's there.
5 people.
All the loyalists are gone.
Levelists.
Well, both, I guess. Levelist loyalists.
Boom, you right.
All the levelist loyalists are gone.
Right.
He's sitting there playing the piano with the bodies of the other guests, even severed head guy.
Rolled up in the sheet.
And he admits to killing them. He admits to starting the cult. The assumption, and this is another stupid thing, the assumption is that the levelists all went off their own way to commit suicide. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we jump 2 years, Ariel thinks that all the levelists have like gone off and killed themselves.
Stupid.
And she has been trying to get an interview with him. I guess she was going to try to include it in her book. I also didn't think that was necessary. Like the man who killed 5 people, you need to talk to him to include in your book. Like you were there.
Yeah.
So she was basically trying to, I guess, ask the why. Like, why did you do this?
I think he called her out. He clocked her when he said, "You want to write another book."
Yeah. I mean, it was obvious. She said in the beginning, like she wanted something to write of note, and she wanted to have notoriety, and she wanted things that she wanted to write things that people were going to read. Mm-hmm. So he was just kind of like, you just wanted to interview me to put it in your book and sell more books. And she's kind of like, no, I want to know why and where are they at? And she's like, where are all the levelist bodies at? And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, didn't they commit suicide? He was like,
you idiot. Why would they all commit suicide? They got away.
The champagne that they drunk was champagne.
He took the fall.
Yeah.
And none of their identities were exposed. They get to go live regular lives.
So we get a montage of all the levelists living their lives. And, they've obviously I don't even say
Hydra.
I don't even say disbanded. I would say they just moved to different parts of the earth.
They're basically Hydra, and they're in different sections of society.
Still being Hydra.
Teaching the teachings and waiting for the rise.
Exactly. Waiting to come back again. So essentially the twist of the movie is that he orchestrated everything. Mm-hmm. He invited her there because they knew that she was going to write a book about it. They were going to let her escape from the jump. She was never meant to be killed. The lady who helped her escape actually let her go on purpose.
That was the plan.
And it was all staged.
Yeah.
So her book actually, I guess, gave rise to the levelist
spread awareness,
culture.
I guess.
I don't call it culture.
Religion?
Culture. Because they're a cult.
Yeah.
So rise to religion. So now her book has been like used as a vessel or vehicle to spread his crazy logic. And he's like, thank you, girl. I appreciate it.
He said we just needed somebody to get the ball rolling.
Right. And sure, I think it's a stretch. I think that you have other celebrities in cults and they get their message across just fine without killing 5 people and writing a book about it. But what do I know? It's a movie.
It's supposed to be the world's greatest superstar.
I gotta suspend my belief. So the movie ends with her going on an interview, and the person who's interviewing her has a bracelet or has a necklace with pearls, and she's like, "Oh snap, he was right. The book actually did expand his reach, and now all these people are out here, and I'm the reason why." And I was just kind of like, "Sure,
yeah."
I'll buy it.
And it says the reason he invited her was for 2 reasons. 1, she was pure and untouched by the industry.
Right.
2, because she wrote complimentary things about somebody's chin, which On further thought, I believe that as genuine because of all the petty reasons he killed everybody else.
Okay.
A petty reason for picking her makes sense.
Yeah, it was all, like you said, it was all vanity. So the movie basically cuts once she realizes, oh snap, my book is actually perpetuating this stupid cult. And then the movie ends.
And I guess the lesson is be careful what you wish for, because she wanted all this time to
she wanted an experience
write something
to write
big and be known for something, and she is known for writing the worst thing.
Congratulations, girl. Yeah, congratulations. So let's talk about, do you have a favorite line or scene?
I didn't, but I guess the private concert was my favorite scene because I liked the music. Okay. And it made sense to me why it just felt weird, because you're an older artist who's clearly trying to capture a newer sound. Okay. And it usually doesn't sound, I'm trying to think of an artist in real life who has done that, but I won't because I don't want to call anybody out. But
don't send nobody fandom on this.
But we all know our legendary artists who've come back from slumber and their sound is completely different than what it was before.
Right. Yeah. Right. I don't have one. I mean, I didn't have many likes, so it's hard to pluck out a favorite line or scene.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie are the only things that really happen. The rest is just build-up. So when you cut out the build-up of things that don't really make sense until the end of the movie, you don't really have that much.
I'll say a positive. I like the second song. His second song in the weird listening party. It sounded pretty catchy.
In the room, or when he did the performance?
When he did the performance.
I like the opening.
The opening song went bad.
The opening song, I like the opening of the concert goers jumping around, and I thought that was cool because that was, at least every person in the opening is somebody you will see at a concert in real life doing that exact, behaving that exact same way. It felt a little long,
but
it did.
I agree.
And I like that they were all of different ages.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Agree. So, any random notes?
I have a couple. I never need to do something like this.
No, I'm not going to nobody reservation.
Nope, not even you, Beyonce. Love you.
But the moment you say you taking my phone, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Bye.
Not going to a compound. Nope.
That take too long to get to, that I can't find no way back, that ain't got no cell phone service.
I don't think there's an artist that I like that much to do this for.
None.
Even if it isn't culty. No.
I just don't want to be separated from society that long. Can't nobody reach me.
No. I don't think so.
Because what if I have an allergy attack and y'all know how to handle it?
I'll wait for the general release.
Exactly.
What else? This, if it had more music, this could have been my next trap album.
I've been trying to go. Does it have a soundtrack? I'm gonna go look.
We should look.
We go look.
But trap film with Jake Gyllenhaal. No, not Jake Gyllenhaal. Josh Hartnett.
The M. Night Shyamalan joint.
That came out.
Good soundtrack.
Movie was okay, but the soundtrack was a highlight.
Top 10 played.
If this had more music, and it should have, this is the dream, but maybe he's working on part 3.
Okay.
I would have immediately thought Oh Boy was missing. Who was the first guy who went missing?
Bill.
I would have immediately thought he went missing. Where is there to go? You're not from here. None of us are from here. There's no general store.
It's a big compound, but it ain't that big to be getting lost.
And there's nowhere for you to be missing
because you don't know not from here. Where you're going.
So if you don't show up to dinner, I'm immediately thinking there's foul play.
Exactly.
I didn't know how he was going to explain all the missing guests, but I guess that was explained at the end. He didn't plan on getting away with it. He was going to take the fall.
Yes.
And I would have been more paranoid. I feel like she wasn't paranoid enough at the end. I never would have believed the Levelists were dead.
Yes.
I never would have believed I watched The Following, which was a show that used to come on Fox a while ago, starring Kevin Bacon, who followed, was about an author who was a cult leader who spread his awareness through his book. That made more sense in the show. But the scary thing about The Following was that he didn't have a compound or a base of operations. All of his followers were already out in the world doing his bidding. They were just being regular people. And I felt that she wasn't paranoid enough that the Levelists were still out there.
It's because she thought they all killed themselves. And I was like, why would
bodies?
They would have done it at the compound. Why would they need to have left the compound to go sacrifice themselves for the greater good of their cult? Like, why?
Where?
I don't.
Where would all of their bodies be?
There would have been something on the news like, there's just a bunch. Well, maybe not because people die every day, but it just didn't.
I feel like the news wouldn't even let that go.
That logic didn't make any sense of why she thought all them people was dead.
There were too many people on the compound for there all to be dead and not findable.
At least a couple hundred
and
people.
Children.
Didn't make no sense.
Didn't make no sense that we don't see them.
Yeah.
And John Malkovich says that they're all dead, so they must be dead. So we're going to stop looking for them. That made zero sense to me.
He never said they was dead either.
I would have been walking around packing heat everywhere I'm going because I would have expected
at least one of them.
She didn't know it was a plan. For 2 years, she didn't know it was planned for her to escape. So I would have been like Sidney Prescott at every toss and turn.
In Maine.
If you look at me crazy, you're going down.
I'm doing my job from home. Like, ain't no way. But you're right. You're right. My random note is they were talking to each other. Like Ayo was talking to the people she came with about like, this is weird, as if nobody could hear him. They literally each had a 24-hour security guard with them at all times.
Yeah. And
she would be using the words like cult, this is creepy, this is scary, something needs to be done. And the people would be like 2 feet away. And I'm like, girl, you are not being not obvious.
The first night, your 24-hour concierge is sitting in a chair right outside your door.
As if you can't leave.
Like you can't leave.
Popping gun.
Yeah, like you're in prison.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I was just like, the movie is making me suspend my disbelief too much
the door and charged her.
to know that I'm talking about somebody and that person's 2 feet away from me and I'm supposed to be like, they can't hear me. Yes, they can. Yes, they very much can.
All right. Are we ready for our rating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go first.
I'm going to give this a 2.
Oh,
Two Nicole Kidmans.
I thought you was going to go a little higher.
Yeah. I'm going to give this 2 Nicole Kidmans only because it was a short movie, but like I said, a lot of the middle of the film was just build up for weird things that weren't like, that made sense about, it was build up for a realization we already had, which is we're in a cult.
We're in a cult and people are going to die.
Yeah.
Our main is probably not going to die.
Yeah.
And what is the point?
Yeah,
that was the thing.
The third act reveal that he was going to kill everybody, that wasn't really a reveal. It's a cult. That's what you guys do. You get together, you drink the punch, and you kill the outsiders.
Exactly. You kill the innocent that you invited here.
I was waiting for the twist. I was waiting for the blink twice. I wasn't waiting for that, but I was waiting for the twist. I was waiting for the menu twist. It didn't come.
Right. No.
It just felt like a movie about a girl trying to navigate or survive a cult. We all knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So it didn't really pull any surprises for me. No. I thought the acting was good. It could have been just a little bit shorter.
Yeah. Oh, sure. And if you would have cut like some of John Malkovich's speeches, we at least could have lost 10 minutes.
And it absolutely should have included more music. It should have included more music.
It should have been a very music-heavy movie.
This is about a musician. They've come to a listening party, and they barely listened to any music.
The movie is called Opus.
Yeah.
He didn't even musical in nature.
He should have performed several times.
Every other scene, we should have heard the whole album
and
throughout the movie.
Outside of the guests being invited to be killed, they didn't really serve a plot purpose, and they didn't do anything significant for the plot.
And we already knew they was gonna die.
It's 2 Nicole Kidmans for me.
I'm gonna say the same.
Yeah,
I was gonna try to do 2.5, but you made some good points. You convinced me that this is a 2. Yeah. And I hate to say that because, this is the director is black. He's, his first debut, Ayo Edebiri. We got good people, John Malkovich.
Mm-hmm. Low budget. All the rest, the ingredients were there.
It just feel like they read the script and it looked real good on paper, but the execution just did not happen. No. Like something just did not. I don't know if it was in the editing. I don't know, but this did not work.
Just not enough happened.
It didn't work. No. Hopefully lessons will be learned from this, and Michael Anthony Green gets another shot at a different movie. Yeah, but not this one. Yeah, we're gonna put this in a vote and move on.
All right, so that is our review for Opus. If you have seen it, tell us what your thoughts were.
Yeah,
did you like it?
Somebody likes it.
All right,
so Rainbow.
That is Opus. What are we watching next week?
A Woman in the Yard. Although this is classified as a horror, it's not scary. But it's got some creepy imagery.
You don't think Woman in the Yard is scary?
No, I'm saying Opus wasn't scary.
I was about to say.
This is actually scary, and this is about to be Cheryl got a popcorn bucket. Listen, we was watching the trailer. And I knew something was coming, so I closed my eyes, and then Jay goes, "Oh, that was a good jump scare." I'm done.
So the jump scare was them in the attic,
right?
And
they panning. They
turned all the lights out because apparently in the trailer they revealed that her powers only work if she has a shadow.
Correct.
I
did pick that up.
So they're in the attic. It's dark.
Right.
They think her outline of her shadow is in a rocking chair. Oh. The boy flashes a flashlight on it.
She nodded.
And she's not in it.
Okay.
She's behind him. She smacks him. So clearly it's not just the shadows. She can just hit you.
I'm about to be done for in this one.
But I like the fact that they're very upfront about the fact that it is supernatural.
Oh, it is super duper natural. And guess what kind of movies I don't do?
She doesn't do supernatural. She don't do ghouls. And this is clearly a ghoul of some sort.
She's a shadow ghoul, so I may be okay.
She's not of the living.
This is going to be a rough one.
But I think it's death.
I don't know how much reviewing I'm going to be able to do.
We get more tidbits at least. It seems like the dad has died.
In a car accident.
Clearly the mom was also in the car because she's broken up.
Yeah, and she's
got a broken leg.
You called for me or something.
She said, you called for me. Let me do what you asked me to.
Yeah.
So she must have asked for death. She must have called death.
Yeah.
Or she must have been down and out and just
been
asking for them to take her too. And
it's interesting.
She just showed up. Rio showed up at the house.
So. The black version.
Yeah. So.
And I unfortunately don't look like Universal and Blumhouse are promoting this very well. So
Blumhouse doesn't do a very good job of promoting stuff.
I don't like when that happens.
I'm going to see it. Shout out to Danielle Detweiler.
Yeah, 2 tickets.
This will be our second appearance on this show.
2 tickets, please, for us.
Yeah.
So check it out. If you are into horror, check this out. Let's get the numbers up. Okay.
Also, watch Parallel.
And watch Parallel, which is also a good movie.
And read and listen to our review.
Exactly. All right. So thanks for listening. If you like our show, please give it a share. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can also leave us a comment on our episodes on Spotify.
Yes.
Just figured that out this week. And one of us will respond. You could also leave us a review on our website, vaguelynerdypodcast.com. You can leave us a voice message where we will play on the show if it's nice. If it's not nice, I will blast it on all social medias with a rebuttal and find your employer. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. But anywho, you can follow us on Threads and IG at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast. Blue Sky and Twitter, we are Vaguely Nerdy Pod. You can reach us at vaguelynerdypodcast@gmail.com if you got a question, comment, or concern.
Yes.
And if you're listening on a podcast app, you can also check us out on YouTube where you have an animated show. We have our cute little faces and the cute little emojis. You can see our heads moving around. All right. And don't forget to like us, follow us, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Until next week.
Bye.
Bye.